Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of Andrewsfootball.com. Welcome to my Week 4 breakdown in review. I got a lot of content, so I'm going to go over everything really fast. Now, if I missed something and you want me to go into further detail, go to askandrewsfootball@yahoo.com or leave a comment here below, and I'm going to make sure that I try to answer all comments. So I'm going to do everything I can to answer all your questions here. Let's break down all the games here. First off, let's start off with Kansas City at Detroit. Special shout out to Luke G, Field Review, and the DSA, the Detroit Sports Alliance. They let me come on the show Friday. It was a great show. A lot of really good, knowledgeable sports fans in Detroit here. And Lions fans, I'm going to give you a warning. I call it the BI stupidity, and that's the bandwagon idiots. And you're going to have to get ready for it. You're not as bad as things are here in Kansas City with Mahomes and going to the AFC Championship, because everybody's just jumping on the bandwagon. And you got all these idiot sports fans that have no idea what they're talking about. Get ready for it, because you guys got a really good football team. Things are looking really good for Detroit. I'm going to go into a little more detail on this game than I am on some of the other games here, because unlike a lot of people, I don't think the fumble was the turning point in the game. Now, I mean, was it a big play? Sure. And was it a 14-point swing? Quite possibly. But even if Detroit goes up 20-13, it's early enough in the game. I think Kansas City answers back with a touchdown. Keep in mind, Detroit answered back with a field goal, and that was key. You can't kick field goals when you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. What cost the Lions the game was the offense, specifically their last drive in the game. The score's 27-23, 6:42 left in the game. Your first down takes you 1 minute and 26 seconds. You go 14 yards to your 35. Your second first down takes a minute 18 to the Kansas City 49. So under 40 to play, under 4 minutes to play, you're at the 49. You're at midfield with 4 to play. First down, you go 6 yards. So 2nd and 4 at the 43. This is the play that cost you the game. A 34-yard completion to go inside the 10-yard line. That cost you the game. Because if you don't score, you give Kansas City the ball back. They possibly could run out the clock. It's hard to say. But bottom line, instead of 2nd and 4, you should have milked the clock. All right? Now, keep in mind, the 4-minute, 16-second drive, that was the longest scoring drive of the game. But that's the difference in the chess match here. All right? Because here's the deal. You gave Mahomes 2 minutes and 26 seconds with 2 timeouts. That's what cost you the game. It wasn't the fumble. It was giving Mahomes too much time. And that's where, instead of going downfield, you should have milked the clock. Kerryon Johnson had 125 yards rushing. You should have just lined up either in 11 personnel or goal line personnel. You should have kept, if nothing else, you wanted to get inside 2 minutes. And that might have still been too much time. But given Mahomes 226 and 2 timeouts, that's what cost you the game. It was the Lions offense, not the defense, not the fumble. All right? Now, here's the thing. I ended up getting some new subscribers from Luke's show, so I got some Lions fans who are watching this. I said in the show I thought Minnesota was going to win the North. Well, I changed my mind. I think the Lions are the best team in the North. So a special Andrews football prediction. The Detroit Lions, the 2019 Detroit Lions, are going to win a playoff game. I don't know if they're going to win the division. Now, if they win the division, they're going to win at home, and that atmosphere that you saw, it's going to happen all over again, probably even more electric. But even if they go on the road, they're going to win a playoff game. So Lions fans, be ready, and be ready for the bandwagons, and be ready for the idiots that are going to be coming, because you guys got a really good football team. We were very lucky to get out of Detroit with a win. So now I'll break down the rest of the games here. New England at Buffalo. Now, one of the Bills fans I follow on social media. Bills fans are some really knowledgeable people, but this one said Bills got best defense in the NFL. That no, you may have the second best defense in the NFL. The best defense in the NFL belongs to the New England Patriots. After 4 games, they've given up 27 points. That's less than a touchdown per game. That's a ridiculous amount of points given up. I mean, 27 after 4 games, that's amazing. Now, forget who they played against. They're 4 NFL teams. Remember, Greg Schiano was going to take over as defensive coordinator. It's a little different because usually they promote from within. Well, they went outside and got Greg Schiano, which I thought was a great move. He couldn't take it. So Bill Belichick is both the head coach and defensive coordinator. Currently, through the first 4 games, first quarter of the season, Bill Belichick is my choice for coach of the year, hands down. I mean, he's basically running the team and the defense. They're 4-0, 27 points after 4 games. Give Bill Belichick the credit he deserves. Now, here's the thing, though. When I watched the game, forget the stats. Just watch the game. Just watch the players. I wonder if Matt Barkley starts the whole game, do the Bills win? Do they get 17 points? Because Josh Allen looked confused. And then on top of that, you have him running the ball for some crazy reason, getting knocked out. And, whether the play was intentional. I didn't think it was intentional. I thought it was just good football play. Sorry if you disagree, but I thought it was just good football play. I really did. Okay, why Josh Allen wants to be a running back, that's something that needs to change either during this season or during the offseason. They got to change that offense around. Now, I will say this. If you haven't seen the Bills play yet, they got this middle linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds. Oh, my God. Now, I thought he was 22 because I posted it on Twitter that he was 22. He's only 21. The dude's listed at 6'5", 250. He looks bigger. He looks like a defensive lineman. He runs like a wide receiver. If you heard my show before, I've often talked about Josh Allen having this no ceiling, this limitless potential. But here's the thing, Josh Allen's never going to be as good as Mahomes or Brady, but Tremaine Edmonds has every chance to be a defensive MVP. I mean, this guy has a chance to be one of the best, anywhere 5 to 10 players in football. Can he be as good as Aaron Donald, who was voted the number 1 player in the NFL last year? He could be. There is really no ceiling on Tremaine Edmonds, but just as a football fan, this dude, he looks like a lineman just running all. He looks like that cheat code. I don't play Madden anymore. They still have that cheat code where you can adjust his speed because he looks like he should have like a 60 or 70 speed, but you jump it up to 90. I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks that crazy. He looks like something that you have to cheat on. I mean, the guy, it's just fun to watch. I will say this. If the Bills are going to make the playoffs, Josh Allen has to play a lot better. He's really one of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now. I'm sorry. I know there's going to be people that watch this, our Bills fans, are going to be hating on me right now, but it's true. He's a bad quarterback. Can he get up to like the high 20s or the low teens? Because with that defense, he doesn't have to be great. All right? He doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. He just has to be like an average quarterback or slightly below average. Right now, he looks really bad. But with all the potential, I'm not suggesting you bench him, all right? I'm not saying you bench him, but you got to do something different and quit having him run the damn ball because it's killing you. It's literally killing him. He's being knocked out of the game. So you got to change some things offensively, what you do. But he looked really confused. Keep in mind, he's going against maybe the best coach of all time. So maybe give him a little bit of a break, but they need to do some things differently on offense if the Bills are going to make the playoffs this year. Let's continue here. The Raiders winning on the road. I warned people the Raiders are better than you think. Burfett, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. He's out for the year. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but one thing I got to say is the Raiders are 2-2, losing Antonio Brown and Burfett. Burfett was a captain on the defensive side. And, give Gruden a ton of credit. I mean, this team's 2-2. Are they there yet? No, they're not. But did you really think the Raiders are going to be 2-2 without Antonio Brown? This is a better team than you think here. Watch out for the Raiders. I don't think they're a playoff team. Okay? I mean, they're obviously not going to win the West. They're not a playoff team, but this is a young team with a lot of talent that's on the rise. So what they're doing is really exciting here. Again, fear them in 2020 once they get to Vegas. with the loss, it makes me look really smart because I've been saying that the Tennessee Titans are going to win the AFC South. They had a real big win against Atlanta, and the thing is with Atlanta dropping to 1-3, they're in last place in the NFC South. Dan Quinn's officially on the hot seat. I mean, you can't go 1-3. The bad thing is that the NFC's a lot closer together. I think there's going to be a team that's 9-7 or 10-6 that's on the outside of the playoffs looking in for the NFC, unfortunately. So going 1-3 in the NFC is a bad spot. So Dan Quinn's definitely on the hot seat. Can the Falcons get things turned around? They're a talented team, but losing that game at home was big. Speaking of hot seat, Jay Gruden, it's only a matter of time before he gets fired. Putting in Haskins I thought was just silly. It's really just a matter of time before he ends up getting fired. Kind of a weird side note here, and I probably shouldn't say this, but could the next coach of the Redskins be Jim Harbaugh, who's I think on the hot seat at Michigan? Kind of an interesting segue there, but the Giants, one game out of first place. Who would have thought that? A team that has no chance of making first place is the Miami Dolphins. I keep saying they're not going to go 0-16, but they look really bad. Oh, man, my nose itches. Sorry about that. But look, here's the thing about the Miami Dolphins and Miami fans. The best thing I can tell you is just wait till April. You got 3 first-round picks. One of them is from Houston, who lost a home game to Carolina. Kyle Allen's 2-0. Ron Rivera, you're off the hot seat right now. But this also confirms, because Kyle Allen's going to start next week, that I think Cam Newton's career with the Carolina Panthers is over. Ron Rivera, I think, will stay on as head coach if he continues this winning ways. Keep in mind, I think the NFC is a lot harder to make the playoffs than the AFC, but you're 2-2 right now, and Kyle Allen looks decent. I mean, it was 13-10, so he didn't light up the scoreboard, but you did have a win, and that's key. The biggest surprise to me was Cleveland in the early games was Cleveland beating Baltimore. Not that they won, but how they did it. Just Baker Mayfield had a good game. Nick Chubb had like 8,000 yards. I mean, no, it wasn't 8,000, of course, but I mean, this is a team that's traditionally had a good defense. They did not have a good defense. I mean, this is a team that looked horrible, and now Cleveland's in first place. I mean, what an exciting year this is. I mean, wow. And Browns fans, enjoy. You're going to be on Monday Night Football playing against an undefeated San Francisco 49ers. With you win, you're in first place. I mean, how much fun is that? I mean, this is going to be great. So afternoon games. Okay, Tampa Bay, they rebounded. Wow. I did not expect. If you're going to tell me you saw 55-40 coming, I'm going to call you a liar. And here's the thing. How much fun is the NFC? You got the Rams losing, Packers losing, the Cowboys losing. San Francisco's your only undefeated team. Of course, they played the bye. You don't lose against the bye. So, I mean, this is completely different than last year, where last year it was obvious it was a two-dog race. You knew it was going to be the Rams and you knew it was going to be the Saints. Like in the AFC, it's Chiefs and Patriots. Well, this year it's wide open. This year it's wide open. So, I mean, this is great. I mean, what a fun year it's been so far. But if you're a fan of football, you're a fan of the NFC, it's wide open race in the NFC. Wide open. And it's fun because Thursday Night Football, Rams are going to go to Seattle. Seattle took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do. Speaking of what you're supposed to do, Chicago won at home. Yes, I said, take Minnesota. So I was wrong. All right. Hey, I was wrong. Not only was I wrong about Minnesota winning the game, I was wrong about Minnesota winning the division. They don't look good right now. Chicago, Trubisky is not going to have surgery. He'll be back sooner than later. You can win games with. Oh, man, I can't believe I forgot his name. Oh, man, he was in Kansas City for several years. I love this guy. I watched him at MU. Chase Daniel. Okay, I'm sorry. Brain freeze. But you can win a few games with Chase Daniel. I mean, Trubisky will come back. I like the Lions to win the division. The NFC North's interesting because the Bears have the best defense. The Vikings have the most talent. Packers have the best quarterback. But the Lions, I think, are the best team. So it's a very interesting NFC North right now, but some things have to change, okay? They have to change for the Vikings, All right. I mean, that was a bad loss. Okay. Speaking of, again, what you're supposed to do if you're up 17-3 at home with a defensive-minded head coach, you got to close that out. But Minshew magic strikes again, and with that win, everybody in the AFC South is now 2-2. How exciting is this? Now, I know it's early, but I really think Jacksonville should take a page out of Dallas Cowboys playbook. Remember they had Dak Prescott who stepped in for an injured Tony Romo. And he kept on saying, oh, I'm just here till Tony gets healthy. I'm just here till Tony gets healthy. Well, it's my job. Well, I think Jaguars should really be preparing internally. Don't release anything to the public, but build this team around Minshew. Build a team around the 6th-round draft pick. You have a great running back. You have a good offensive line. You have a good defense. Build it around the 6th-round pick. I don't know the specifics about Foles' contract, but if you can get rid of him, maybe have him be a backup. I don't know what you can do or can't do, but I think you should stick with Minshew as your starter. That's what I think. Is he going to lead you to the promised land? No, but they look pretty good with him. And they're tied for first. Everybody's 2-2. So it's a wide open AFC South right now. Now, with Denver, as a Chiefs fan, I'm kind of laughing, but I mean, it's a long season. Okay, it's a long season. Only the first quarter is past, but you got Kansas City's 4-0, Denver's 0-4. Bradley Chubb's out for the year. John Elway is officially on the hot seat. I wonder if they move on. I think they're going to, after this year, move on from John Elway. But does this mean Fangio is also on the move? A lot of times, if you're a new GM, you want to bring in your own guy. Sometimes you bring in a new GM, you keep the guy for a year. But I think both Elway and Fangio are on the hot seat. Some things have to change. But losing Bradley Chubb, you lost you were up by 14 at home. That you got to close that game out. You've got to close that game out. So things in Denver are not looking well. In my opinion, if you're a Broncos fan, you're looking forward to 2020 with Drew Lock quarterbacking the team and probably a new GM. I mean, but keep in mind, it's a long season, but things really don't look good for Broncos country right now. So, I mean, I feel bad for you, but not too bad because I'm a Chiefs fan. Sunday Night Football, if you told me the Saints would only score 12 points and not score a touchdown, I would be like, just wait till Breeze gets back. It's okay. But if you told me they were going to win, I'm like, what? Are you high? And you beat the Cowboys without scoring a touchdown. Wow. Okay. So this leads me to believe that if you can get Breeze back to the level that he's capable of playing at, you probably have the best team in the NFC. But taking a guy who's over 40, I should have looked it up before I did the video, but I mean, he's advanced age. I mean, you're not dealing with a young guy. And I don't think you're winning the Super Bowl with Bridgewater. If you can get him back to where he needs to be, then you got possibly the best team in the NFC. Keep in mind, I thought they were the best team in the NFC last year. So that's big. And now here's the thing with the Cowboys. I still have you winning the East, and I still have the Seahawks winning the West. Those are two big wins for the Saints. So, I mean, I don't really know what else I can say, but they need to improve on offense. So hopefully Breeze can come back and he could be back to the level that he's capable of playing at. Because if he comes back, remember he was banged up and he didn't play as well towards the end of the year. If you're getting that Drew Brees, then you're not a lock to go to the Super Bowl. You get Hall of Fame caliber Drew Brees, you have the best team in the NFC. I mean, you held the Cowboys to 10 points. That's a big win. Monday Night Football. I mean, what a crazy year. You start off 0-3, and then you play the Ravens with a chance to be in first place because Cleveland will go on the road to play San Francisco. So if you're Pittsburgh and you win that game against Baltimore, you're in first place. Well, technically you're tied, but you could be 2-3. Now I'm going off the assumption. Let's say Cleveland loses, but let's say they win. Of course, they're in first place, and I'm doing my prediction show Saturday. I'm not calling those games yet, but how exciting of a turnaround is it for the Pittsburgh Steelers? You go from 0-3, you look horrible, to hey, if we beat Baltimore at home, which is a winnable game, you're in first. I mean, how crazy is that? So. Man. So listen. Oh, you know what? I got a surprise for you. Surprise! Hey, Thursday night football special. All right, I didn't even announce this. I didn't even tell you to wait till the end. I got a surprise for you because I love you guys this much here. Thursday night football surprise. All right, Seattle hosts the Rams. They're 1.5-point favorite. The Rams, I think, are shocked. I don't think they're going to rebound. Take Seattle and 1.5. Go ahead and collect. So, boom, bonus coverage for you guys. Listen, if you're a subscriber to Andrews Football, you already know you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth. All your wildest dreams are going to come true. But if you're new to my channel, there's this button right down here. I blew it up for you. See it, see it, see it. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Saturday's the prediction show. Let me know if you have any requests, and I will see you Saturday.